Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. My name is Sargam Tiwari, and I'm the marketing head at Tech Joseph. Today, we have our special guest speaker, Julian Richter. He is a serial social entrepreneur, and he has founded 3 to 4 startups. Right. So today we will talking about how to build your dream startup. So let's welcome Julian. Hi, Julian. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine. Nice to be on the talk. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good too. Thank you for asking, and we are pleased to have you today. Uh, So, Julian, before moving forward to our topic, would you like to tell us about yourself, your company that you have founded, and also how it works?
Sure. Of course. Thank you. My name is Julian. I'm from Austria, and I never intended to start any company or become an entrepreneur. I studied to become an economist, actually. So I have a master's degree in economics. And after that, I started off a very traditional career path as a management trainee. And after a couple of, it was 1.5 years or something like that into my classic career, I decided that this was not for me, and took a complete different pathway and signed up for actually an NGO here in Austria, but it's operating, I think, in, I don't know, 40 countries around the world. It's called Teach for Austria in that case, or Teach for All. Some of you may know that. And that was actually my starting point into into entrepreneurship, which might sound weird because it's an NGO, but it's a very specific program that you go through with that NGO. You become a teacher in a school for 2 years, and after that you go out and change the system. That's the idea, sort of. So they take in various different backgrounds, and I've never been teaching before. And then I became a teacher and saw what simple or how simple one person can change the life of many others, and decided I want to do that on my own or for myself. And I found co-founders during that time, and we decided to just start something off to make the world a better place. I think that is our vision, but I think that's the vision of everybody who founds something, in a way. So you see a problem or something that you want to change, and you find a solution and you bring it forward. And in our case, that was in the end various different solutions. So we began with a company or a social business that is still up and running, that is actually in the labor market business. So we integrate highly skilled immigrants and refugees here in Austria into the labor market. So we work as a placement agency, sort of. That I started off, or that we started off 6 years ago, and it's still up and running as a social business, which is something that is not that easy to sustain and achieve. And since then, we've found 3 different other ventures, as we call them. The latest one being a sort of education tech startup-y thing. Let's see in which direction it moves, called the Learning Circle. Might want to look it up. But yeah, that's my story. So after I got into the process of designing something new and finding my problem and trying to solve that, I couldn't stop, and I won't, I guess, for the next few years. So there might be more to come.
Okay. So, what are the, if I say like, what are the responsibilities you were handling as you told me, like you were co-founder, right? So, what are the responsibilities that you have handled there?
So you mean as a co-founder, what my responsibilities were? I think there's something in. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yeah, I think there is some internet connectivity issue we have. So I
Hmm.
don't know. It was okay. So yeah, now I think
You're
it's
back.
better.
Perfect. Um, so you were asking about responsibilities as a co-founder, correct?
Yes.
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 Well, we were three co-founders, or we are a team of three that founded all those four ventures until now, and we do have sort of rough responsibilities or outlines, roles defined that each one of us takes over. But in the end, we all work as CEOs and have additional functions. So my role would be finance and HR in general. Um, so that is my background. Yeah,
Okay. Great. Great. So you are handling the HR and the marketing team, right?
exactly. Yeah.
You were handling. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So, for our viewers, our first question is here, like, what are the best ways, to think about ideas for any startup, right? Because the ideas are
Mhm.
running daily basis in my mind, in everyone's mind, right? So, if for what is the best way, like, oh, that's idea came in my mind. Now, what is the next process? So, what are the basically? I just wanted to, or to our viewers, like what are the ways that to think about those ideas, and also how they can help in setting up the startup, in any startup.
Yeah, I'd I'd say everybody has a different process. For me, it always is if I find a topic that I'm passionate about that in a way angers me or pisses me off or that I want to change badly, that can be something very little or something big, then I know it's something that I want to touch, that I want to think about. And if then I have an idea how to solve that, I'd bring it forward with friends, family, counterparts that I know that ask the toughest question possible, and kind of find myself a sparring partner and see if the idea that I have is robust or needs another thought, and that might be an iterative process that I go through or that we go through till I have an idea that I would put forward in front of people that I don't know and that ask again tough questions. And I'm trying to refine the idea until up to a point where I'd say, okay, this is either something that could work or, well, was fun in the process. So enjoy also that process. It's not always, not every idea at the beginning needs to be an adventure startup. In the end, it's just about the process sometimes and getting in the mood of, or in the process of thinking about an idea strategically. And and I'm sure there are a lot of people outside that yeah, that could use that, because you, as you said, we all have plenty of ideas every day going through our work or life, and yeah, I'd say just pick one that angers or that you're most passionate about. That's a positive way to frame it, and then go through a setup process. Yeah.
Okay, so it's we just have to move forward only for those ideas, if you are saying, like, on what we are passionate about, right? If you are really really passionate about, and you think like, yes, this idea would work, then no matter what everybody is saying, you just have to go for it, right?
Um, in a that's where I would start. After that, I would always say find people whose ideas and insights you trust, or who you trust in general, and pitch your idea, and see what comes back, and if it's something that you can roll. So find sparring partners as a next step, because sometimes in our ideas that sound very, very, very good in our own heads are, mine at least, are not always as as shiny as they look at first sight. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so now we have, an idea came up in my mind, and yes, and I genuinely know, like, yes, this will work out. But the biggest fear comes out when, when you start, pushing yourself, and yes, if you want to establish it, or I don't know, like, it will gonna work or not. So that's why I think this is the fear factor I can say here.
Yeah.
So my question is also is something kind of based on this particular thing, like you have also so like many startups fails, right? So in your at your point of view, what do you think, like why do so many startups fail?
Um, well, I have two thoughts. The first,
Hi, Julian. Yeah,
so the first would be
you
that
got my question.
So I would say many startups fail because they're set up in that way. It's high risk and high reward, and in that way, a lot of startups are just bound to fail. And sometimes it's a good idea with a good intention, but it's at the wrong time, or something else doesn't match up and align, and you end up failing. But I guess it's important, if you set out and never fail, you don't aim high enough, I think is the saying, or something like that. So you have to push boundaries, and if you do, you sometimes fail. I think it's important that we deal differently with failure, especially in that market, and that it's not, I don't know, at least in Austria, it's still something that you are not allowed to do. So you fail once and you're branded as a failure, and that is completely off, because those ideas, the big ideas, are always on the verge of either failing or going big, and that's why I'd say yeah, it's probably an inherent problem
Okay,
of startups. Mm. And the second part
true.
that I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
with good ideas that I know is that it's getting good, either a good team around you or sparring partners in the process of starting up. So find people that are at least as good as you, to work with, and to help you and build that startup. Yeah.
Yeah, so partnership matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Definitely.
for moving forward, our next question. So, startups are, if you are setting any startup, and at the initial stage, so many startups who are facing, problems in the hiring process, and it is very difficult to find good candidates, and also it takes a lot of energy, right, and time. So, what is the solution from your side to overcome this problem, or you have implemented anything like anything like that?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most crucial parts of being a new enterprise and starting off and building a team that is capable of facing the problems that you face. So I'd say uh, it is important, even as a small company, even as a smart startup, or a starting up enterprise, to build some sort of reputation in the market. That is not as easy as it sounds. So do your employer branding, get that right, build a brand, even if it's just for your employees. And I say just, that might be enough, because this is the research you really want to focus on. It very much also depends, I guess, on which talents you're looking for. If it's talents that or talent that you can find at university in that is, or if you have senior talent that you're looking for, there are completely different pathways. So as I understand, even especially in the tech field, I'd say it's a very tight market right now. We've faced that, or we see that even in our company, looking for tech talents, we always face problems. So as I understand, there are a lot of tech talent platforms. I know that the higher tech talent is one of them, that might work perfectly in that specific sector. I guess that is an option if you have to go so to easily find or access that talent. There are very specific platforms in the market. Yeah, it's always a good start.
Higher tech talent, you're saying.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So, okay. So, if I can say, like, what is the best advice you can give for young or first-time startup CEOs or the viewers who are watching this and they want to set up their own startup, right? So, what is the best advice that you want to give to our audience?
If it's just a one sentence advice or this very one, so if I have to take one, it would be the team is more important than the idea. So find yourself the right team to start up with. Find yourself a co-founder or a team of co-founders that you share the burden with, and the success in the end. But I think I've for myself this lonesome wolf story that didn't work out for me. So I need a team to progress, and I think in over time that always pays off. It's tough, and it's important to know who you're founding with, because it's a tough time. You're gonna argue, you're gonna fight, you're gonna discuss, but in the end, that makes, if you're a good team, the product better, the company better, and you succeed, I guess. Yeah. So that wouldn't be
Okay.
my advice. Mhm.
Thank you. Okay. So, okay. So from your side, I would ask last thing maybe here, like which one is most important in while setting up this startup? Whether it is product or services that you are providing, or your team, basically your team building, right? So as an CEO or as an startup owner, on which should you focus? You should focus on the services and the products that you are going to deliver to your customers or your or clients, or that should be your team management. So, and how we can I mean, how can we can manage of both things if both are really important.
Um, I guess it's very very important to focus on your team, that provides the service or produces the product that you want to bring to the market. It's important to listen to your customers, if you're designing your products and or services. But in the end, it's going to be your team that delivers said product or service. So from my point of view, you are only as good as your team is, or as the team, as the team is, and that's why I'd say if you have to choose one, focus on the team first and make sure that they deliver the product or service that you want to deliver, and as a second, listen to your customers. Don't produce for yourself because you think this is the best solution or this is the best service that is out there, but ask if it is something that somebody needs, and then ask again and ask again and ask again. So that's the way to, I don't know, get your product better, and never stop asking this question. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we shouldn't worry if I think every startup or every big companies always get negative, I mean, complaints and over social media also, right? People are tagging them and they are saying, oh, yeah, I use this product and but it is not working. So this is your fault. They are directly
Mm.
calling the CEO of the company, and we don't, we just have to think about it how we can take it in a positive way, right? So as an CEO, what are the things that these are the things I think that these you have to consider from yourself, right?
True. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, so great, Julian. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, so we have to end this session here. And
Mhm.
thank you so much for joining this session and giving us such a deep insight uh, about your journey. And I hope this will help many young entrepreneurs and startup founders in building their dream startups. So
Thank you
as
for
Julian
having me.
is from Vienna. So in our Vienna Tech Jobs Fair, I just want to include here like Tech Jobs Fair is going to conduct our job fair event in Vienna, supported by Vienna Up 2022 on 3rd June 2022. So those who are from technical and digital background and also are looking for job, you can visit techjobsfair.com/Vienna and get your free tickets for the event online. So I think that's the end of the session here. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Julian. Again, you too. And
Thank
see
you.
you in our next session. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you,
for
everyone.
having me.